Hey guys, how's it going? My name's the Breph and welcome to another challenge video. Today I'm asking the question, can you beat Pokémon THETA EMERALD with only Route 1 Pokémon? THETA EMERALD is a ROM hack I must confess I know very little about. However, what I can tell you are the basics, that it includes Pokemon up to Gen 6, it contains the physical special split, and it also contains a ridiculous level curve. Don't get me wrong, it isn't Kaizo bad, but it does make leveling up a little bit difficult and an awful lot grindy. Don't get me wrong, it isn't Kaizo bad, but I am gonna need to be focused enough for this one and learn along the way, because I must confess I'm not too good with moves post physical special split, and I ain't exactly too sure on which Pokemon are now fairy types and not, especially not when you're looking at Emerald. It's very confusing. On top of that, I've got no idea what's a Route 1 Pokemon or not in this game, so I don't know what we're going to find. However, I'd assume there's probably going to be one or two pitifully weak bug type Pokemon involved. But I'm excited for this one, so let's talk about the rules and then jump straight into it. As ever, they are straightforward. I'm only allowed to use in battle the first 6 Route 1 Pokemon I find. No items are allowed to be used in battle, but held items are fine, and TM usage is allowed as ever. With that said, should we jump straight into it? The game begins and we choose the male character, giving ourselves the witty and inventive name of Breph. We then get access to our starter, and I choose Torchic for some reason. I mean, it's not really going to matter because we're not going to use it anyway, but I thought that giving the rival the Mudkip line would pose the biggest threat down the line. Then we have to go up and beat our rival, which we do so easily, heading back down to the lab and getting access to Pokeballs for the first time, and thus commences our portion of the challenge. Before we jump into our first encounter and we get on with this one, I want to take this time to say a huge congratulations to everyone who'd given correct or partially correct answers to the naming scheme for the last one, but a huge congratulations to DS Error, who got all of them right before the premiere had even finished. Some were easy, some were hard, like Plonk after he saw there was a Vaporeon in the video. But nonetheless, they were as follows. Eevee Laika was named after the Russian space dog. Umbridge, of course, was named after the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, Professor Umbridge. Dravinia was named after Dravinia the Stoneweaver, the Alteration teacher in Skyrim. Flareon was Iroh after the character in Avatar The Last Airbender, correctly named by a lot of people as the best character. Jolteon McGrath was named after Cole McGrath from the infamous games. And Vaporeon Asa Akira, well, we'll just leave that one blank and move straight on into our first encounter for this run, which is a Fennekin. I've replaced our fire type choice with a fire type starter. I like it. I very much like it. I've never used a Delphox before, and I'm really looking forward to it, given that the second Pokemon that we run into is a Wurmple. Yeah, this is gonna go really badly, whatever evolution it is. Third up is Poochyena, so not much better, swiftly followed by Lillipup. And actually, I'm really looking forward to this now, because Stoutland isn't a bad Pokemon. The fourth encounter is a Hoppip, so again, not the greatest thing in the world. And finally, our last encounter is a Starly. Okay, so that's a fairly balanced team. We've got Fennekin, we've got Starly, we've got Lillipup, and they're all going to grow into strong Pokemon. The other 3 members of the team I'm not too sure about, but we'll just have to see how they perform later down the line. Anyway, before we even get anywhere near to Roxanne and Rustborough, Wurmple evolves into Silcoon, followed by Beautifly. Make of that what you will. Fennekin also evolves into Braixen, Starly into Staravia, Lillipup into Herdia, and then we arrive in Rustborough to tangle with Roxanne. Hoppip was most definitely the MVP of this fight, coming in handy whenever we needed to use it. Although everyone got involved and played their part well, and ultimately it was Beautifly that came out to win the fight for us, and on completion of the first gym badge, Hoppip evolves into Skiploom. I think I'm about done talking about evolutions for now. So with that, we make our way over to Dewford, collecting the silk scarf because they haven't removed those items, and changing the trendy saying to I am hard. Yeah, this is going to become a theme as well, isn't it? Ah well, Brawley's up next. There's really not a lot to say about Brawley. Beautifly was MVP, sweeping most of his side before ultimately going down and relying on Staravia to come out and do the business. I wasn't really worried about Brawley. We have 3 flying type Pokemon on the team. This was always going to be a simple one. From there we plunge head first into the cavernous region that is also known as your sister, which is a much more offensive phrase when you break it down in detail, but not as offensive as if I was to say that we clashed heads with Steven. We drop a fat load of letter off to Steven in there, and then make our way out to Slateport. Here we run into the museum and bump into Captain Stern, delivering him his goods and being confronted by a couple of grunts. After defeating them, we are introduced to their boss Archie for the first time, and he tells us to go and check out the new 12-pack video that should be live on Zwiggo's channel by the time this gets uploaded.
Disclaimer, Breph recorded this audio back when that first came out, before the giant gap in his video production that he can only apologize for. The video is not new anymore, although you should still go and check it out. Also, he enslaved me to read his delusional messages for all time, so please rescue me. As Zwiggo likes to beat him with a rake, he likes to beat me with a steel bar. Send help. Big eat mofos.
But even if it isn't, you should still check it out. With that, I do a batch more leveling up and then head off to challenge the rival. Now, I've got no idea what level their Pokemon are going to be beforehand. I've never played this game before. So it turned out I'd gone a little bit overkill in the process. But hey, now I know. At the end of the day, the fight wasn't too bad, and we were able to walk away from that with complete and utter success. Prior to the engagement with Watson, I did expect his levels to be a little bit higher than they actually were, so I ground everyone up to level 30, and it turns out I didn't need to do that, because we were just a touch too powerful at this point, and we completely and utterly decimated his entire team, claiming the 3rd badge and making our way up to Meteor Falls to watch that cutscene, and then up to Mount Chimney to fight Maxie. Before that fight, Maxie goes off on a speech telling us to like this video and subscribe to the Breph, even potentially, if you're feeling up to it, hitting that notification bell for notifications when I go live and upload a video. By this point, a lot's happened. We've had a lot of evolutions. We even went grinding with Stoutland to get leftovers from Wild Munchlax, and then we kick off a fight that turned out to just be a fraction too straightforward. Now we're really into the swing of the game where our Pokemon are so overpowered it's almost fun. Almost, but not quite, because we've still got to go down and fight Flannery. The fire type gym usually doesn't pose that much of a threat, although I was a bit concerned given the couple of grass and bug types that we have in the team. On the whole though, I shouldn't have been too concerned, as defeating her was rather straightforward indeed. And while though Flannery was an easy win, do you want to know who wasn't? The 5th gym leader, Norman. Beating him wasn't fun, as it took me down to my final Pokemon, but thanks to a little bit of man management, we made sure that that one was our highest level Pokemon, Delphox, and he came in absolutely clutch as we defeat his final Pokemon, Slacking, and claim for us the 5th gym badge. And not a second too soon if you ask me, because we then make our way up to the Weather Institute, where after defeating all of the Team Aqua members in there, we are given a cast form, who we give the nickname Castaway, and that's exactly what we do with it into the box. And then we head off to fight the rival. This was again a fight surrounded by man management, and actually it turned out that giving the rival the Mudkip line turned out in our favour, as we've got grass type users on our team. So it doesn't really matter how much you mega evolve that Swampert, we are still able to win. And then we hit a massive part of grinding, because I've noticed that the levels are starting to creep up and I'm not doing much about it, and I like to stay ahead. I like to brute force my way through. So instead of challenging Winona straight away, I head down to discover Lily Cove and defeat all the trainers on the way, starting to grind in the grass. So imagine my surprise when I was doing this off of camera, off of recording, and I bump into a shiny Alolan Persian. Yeah, I'm not lying, I bumped into a shiny Pokemon in the wild. Now, I don't know what the shiny encounter rate for this game is, but it doesn't matter. What a fantastic find, even though it is a little bit off. But do you want to know what Pokemon isn't a little bit off when it comes to their shiny forms? A shiny Liepard. Yeah, that's right, in the same patch of grass while I was grinding everyone up to level 60, I believe, I found 2 shiny Pokemon. It's like London buses. You wait so long for one and 2 come along at once. I really should have learnt my lesson after bumping into the shiny Persian, but I didn't think we were going to find another one, so I turned the camera straight off. So we don't actually have the initial encounters, but they're there. I caught them, they work, and they're going straight back in the PC because I'm not allowed to use them in battle. Don't worry, that's all the excitement for this run, but I guess it goes to show that me changing my about page to call me the luckiest man in Pokemon challenge running still stands true. Anyway, with everyone up the levels, we make our way back to Winona's gym, where I decide I'm going to challenge her. With everyone at level 50, this fight became a little bit of a joke. Actually, I'm just going to show you the winning attempt here. I did lose once before to a Talonflame, but you know what, that's irrelevant because beating her was relatively straightforward, as a lot of the gyms in this game have been, and we get to move on to the Magma Hideout and the fight against Maxie. By the time we get there, he out-levels us again, and the fight has me a little bit on edge. However, fortunately, we've got strong Pokemon on our side, and we're able to beat him like our dad used to beat us with a belt when we were a child. Or how Zwigo likes to beat me with a rake.
Or even how Breph likes to beat me with that bar. Ow, stop that, you monster. It hurts.
With that, we head into Slateport and we get to watch Captain Stern lose control of his submarine to a pesky little bloke named Archie. After that encounter, we stand next to the captain and we make sure he knows that we're going to get his submarine, and that would make us in charge. So we lean forward and we whisper in his ear, "I'm the captain now." Sorry about that little voice wobble there, I just noticed a spider on my wall. Yeah, okay, that thing needs to die. Where's the shoe? Oh, there we go, okay. Yep, that thing's dead. Where were we? Oh yeah, we were heading off to Lily Cove to do some stuff in the Aqua Hideout, and then making our way over to Moss Deep, where I begin to cry internally. And it wasn't just internally, as I realised just how much of a pain Tate and Liza's gym actually is in this game. I didn't think much of them at first, as Gardevoir and Gallade didn't really have much that they could do, not compared to the likes of the Pokemon that I have on my team, and we beat them fantastically. Make a note of that, we beat them first time, but then we head in to do the double battle with Steven, and this idiot forgot to save his game, so when he died in that fight, he hits reset, we have to do this fight all over again. Are you serious? Hashtag Breff's a pleb. From there, it took me many attempts. I don't understand. I had it right the first time, but I had to redo it over and over and over. And once we did beat them again, I made sure to save my game. Because the double battle against Maxie with Steven is ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Not only does this have the potential to crash the game, which it does several times, but it's also just ridiculously tough. After failing at a variety of levels, I decided to turn off the camera because it's time to go grinding everyone up to level 65. And then I do this. I come back and I beat everyone and I win the fight, and I noticed that I've been recording exactly what you see here, a black screen, because although I hit record, I forgot to activate the window that records the gameplay, and I've just been recording a black screen. Hashtag Breff's a pleb again. Oops. Anyway, we come back and we head to the seafloor cavern with the recording on this time, and we head down to challenge Archie. Now, his team is decent, but I've got a better move. I've got a Silk Scarf on Stoutland, and I've got Giga Impact. Sure, it only has 5 hits, but that's really all you need because it's a brutal move that sweeps pretty much most of his team aside and helps us to beat him. With that, both Groudon and Kyogre have been released into the wild, and they decide that they're going to have the showdown to end all showdowns in Satopolis. This prompts us to go down into the Cave of Origin to find Wallace, who sends us up to Sky Pillar, where we awaken Rayquaza, and he flies off to do his thing. His thing, for anyone who's interested, is a fantastic cutscene that I will play in full for you now. Yes, it's my favourite cutscene. Yes, I love it. Yes, this will happen periodically in Emerald videos, but sit back and enjoy it for what it is. A moment without my dulcet tones. What a cutscene, and unfortunately you are stuck again with my dulcet tones, because now we have to go and fight the water type gym in Juan. Despite us being marginally out-leveled by his team, we are strong in our numbers and our forces, and that means that we are able to take the fight straight to him. A fight that ultimately ends in victory, with us claiming the 8th and final gym badge before making our way into Victory Road, where we have to fight Wally. First time around, and the Pillock's Talonflame absolutely destroys me. It just kills my run. So I have to reset and go again, and this time we have a little bit more success. I'm a little bit better at knowing what to do. And what I do, better than nearly anyone I know, is win. And with beating that fight, I know that we've got the Elite Four left, and no, I don't have a clue what levels they're going to be. So what I do is I grind everyone up to level 75, and I step in to challenge Sydney. I was really surprised at how little he actually challenged us. I suppose the only real thing of note to mention in this fight is the fact that he has an Absol on his team that becomes a Mega Absol, and this is really a little note for Paris. You know who you are, and we all know what you like. Look at that, I'm a channel that gives a little bit for everyone, including those who like whispering ASMR.
The fight against Phoebe did not possess any real troubles, as we have strong Pokemon with fairy-type moves, namely Stoutland, Mightyena, and Play Rough. Play Rough is exactly what we do, spanking Phoebe, including a Mega Sableye, and beating the second member of the Elite Four, paving the way to Glacier.
Oh, if that makes you as uncomfortable as it makes me, I'm so glad you watched this video. We beat Glacier first time in no small part thanks to the actions of her Mega Glalie. I completely had a brain freeze and forgot what typing this thing was, and I thought it might be part Dark type. But in the end, it didn't really matter, because while we whittled its health down, it decided to use Explosion. Her last Pokemon, I've got others. It didn't make sense to me then, it doesn't make sense to me now, but the AI gifts us a win. Drake certainly wasn't going to do that though, as his Mega Sableye proved to be a wall time after time. I realised in the end that maybe I needed to shake up what I was trying. I was putting Leech Seed on with Jumpluff, and that really did help actually, but I decided to just go for it on one of the attempts, wailing away on all of his Pokemon and then switching into Jumpluff of all things at the end to finish off that Mega Sableye. I said Sableye. I meant Salamence. Honestly, it's the end of the month, I need a drink, I don't really care. I've done an entire month without having a drink, I don't need one, I've lost my head, so, Move on. to the champion. Wallace proved impossible time after time after time. No matter how many rotations of the Pokemon, no matter what I tried, I just didn't have enough to get past him. I mean, genuinely, I died many times here, and I was concerned that I was going to have to run through the Elite Four again because some of those fights were pretty near the mark. And then I realised that I had one saving grace. I had 3 rare candies in my bag, and I decided that my most powerful Pokemon for this was going to be Stoutland, so I gave all 3 of them to him, and I tried again. This time Stoutland did his job beautifully. The issue was of course the Mega Swampert at the end, and this was what was really concerning, was because I genuinely couldn't seem to make a proper dent into it. But this time, the most unlikely of candidates is responsible for us winning this fight. Beautifly. Yeah, that pathetic bug Pokemon that I was talking about at the start, the one that I was dreadfully concerned about, beat the champion for us as 2 Giga Drains, after tanking an Ice Punch, would you believe it, beat us the game. At the start of this challenge, I asked a simple question: can you beat Pokemon Theta Emerald with only Route 1 Pokemon? The answer is yes, you can. I think overall I got really lucky with the Route 1 Pokemon that I encountered, and that really helped out this run. There are a wide variety of Pokemon available on that first route, and I must say I got really lucky with my spawns. But at the end of the day, Theta Emerald is a game that the difficulty doesn't really spike, it just ramps up incrementally, and that makes it very difficult to over level, while also keeping you on edge. This game is not perfect by any means, it's a buggy mess at times, and you have to be really careful before a lot of double battles, as moves like U-turn can break the game, but it was genuinely a lot of fun to play through for the first time, and if I can think of more challenges to do on it, I would love to revisit it at some point. But anyway, I've got other projects on the go at the moment that I need to focus on, and this game is going to hit the back shelf. It's not my favourite ROM hack, but it is a damn good one. Anyway, huge shout out to the channel members, and if you would like to join the channel, there is a little join button down below and a link in the description. Nobody ever has to do that, but the most important thing is that I thank you all for your time. Thank you so much for coming. It's so greatly appreciated. I hope you're all staying safe, and I look forward to seeing all of you, and hopefully a lot more, in the next one.